Assalamu alaikum and good greetings. So today we will be watching a video titled Muslim versus Woke, What Islam Actually Says. Muhammed Ali. This is by the Muslim Lantern. Right. So in the previous video we have watched, if I have uploaded it, because it would be a nightmare to edit that video, but if I have uploaded this will be the follow-up video where I've watched that one from sonnyfaz, where he interviewed people in Spain and people in Morocco, and to see the responses with regard to how many genders. And this video is by Muhammed Ali, the Muslim Lantern, commenting on that video. So I'm interested to see his point of view about what happened in that video. So without further ado, let's watch.
What do you guys think about transgenders?
It's her life.
I don't have a...
Yeah. We respect them.
I think Islamically, if someone can make an argument of who's better, men or women, a man would be able to... There is this video I've seen like yesterday or the day before yesterday. There's this YouTuber called Tony. I think he's been on Muslim channels before as well. He went to Spain and then he went to Morocco. And then he went and he did public interviews with the people, asking them questions about basically the alphabet community and things related to gender and stuff like that. And the video is titled like Woke versus Muslims on Pride Month. So he goes to Spain and obviously he asks the people how many genders are there and things like that. And can I be a transgender, etc. And then he does the same thing in Morocco. And then he shows the people the different kind of responses that he got, right? So this is the background of the video. The issues I had with the video is when I looked at the comments, it's like mostly 99% is positive comments from Muslims. They're like proud of the answers that the Muslims have given in the videos and things like that. And I think there is a huge issue that needs to be addressed in the video. A couple of issues actually. But before I go into the content and what people were saying in the video, I want to explain two things. So we have this idea of liberalism, which is essentially just means you can do whatever you want as long as you don't harm anyone else. So this is the core principle of liberalism, which is the reason the West is on its downfall today. It is this concept of you can do whatever you want as long as you don't harm anyone else. So it's just me, I care about myself, and other people can do whatever they want to do. So this is the concept of liberalism that people are adopting in the West. And then you've got the idea of feminism, that women are strong and independent and they can do everything and they don't need a man and they're better than men and all of that. This still got these two ideas, feminism and liberalism. And the video is supposed to show that, look, Muslims they're not following these principles. They're not following liberalism. They're not following feminism. They are following their own Islamic tradition and Islamic teachings. And when you see like 99% of the comments, people are being positives and they like the video, and the videos become very, very popular. Even though it's been one day, it's almost 200k views. So Muslims are very happy about the responses. But the question is, was most of the responses, or was the responses that were given in the video actually representative of the Islamic community and what we believe and what we should be saying as Muslims? But I want to also say that they went obviously into a tourist place in Morocco, so they were talking to a specific type of Moroccan people, and obviously they're not talking to just any Moroccans. This is not all all Moroccans and what they believe, right? So I wanted to kind of put this idea, but this is unfortunately, it's a common belief.
Yeah, from the video, it is obvious that, of course, for both country, he went to the beach, so he interviewed people at the beach in Spain as well as in Morocco. So yeah, that's why in the Moroccan side, I didn't realize or notice any that clothes more traditionally, if you want to put it that way, or traditional Muslim clothing. In Spain, I wonder whether that would actually impact as well in terms of the responses. Yeah.
Belief that Muslims have today. So let me just go into what I'm talking about, I'm referring to. So I'll play just some parts of the video and then I'll give some commentary and I'll explain to you guys what I mean, what are the issues that I see. So first we've got this lady here and he asks her a question. So let's see what she says.
What is a woman?
A woman can give birth to children. You can.
What do you think about...
She's more affectionate than men.
Yes,
She
agreed.
can do everything, but men can't do everything. I guess that women are much more better than men.
And you're
Okay, so here is the issues, right? So first this idea or this understanding that, look, okay, a woman can do everything, and a man cannot do everything, and a woman is much better than a man. So this is feminism. And obviously I want to make a very important comment about the video as well, is like all the women that are in the video were not wearing the hijab. They were not dressed in the Islamic way, and that's why I would have to blur them even in this video. So they're not wearing an Islamic hijab. They're not really representative of a practicing Muslim woman. The interesting thing is that the video of Sony, he has a woman there and she's dressed in an Islamic hijab, because people have this perception a Muslim woman is supposed to be dressed in a hijab, in an Islamic clothing, etc. Right? While all the women that we've seen in this video, including the photographer woman that was Moroccan, none of them were wearing the hijab. So that's the first thing I want to highlight, which is an effect of feminism, by the way. Why am I mentioning this idea of the hijab? Because unfortunately it's been neglected a lot in our Muslim communities, in our countries. Hijab has become something that even people don't even think about these days, right? It's like a common thing for a woman to be a Muslim and not wearing a hijab. Don't even mention it, don't even talk about it. You have these movements of feminists that try to change what hijab actually means in the Quran. The Quran doesn't actually command a woman to wear the hijab, even though it clearly does, obviously in chapter 24, verse 31, and multiple other places, explicitly commanding women to wear the hijab. And it's been always the same for 1,400 years, but unfortunately today it's become normal. And that's why you see a lot of people, even Muslims or Muslim YouTubers, etc., they are putting women in the videos without blurring them or showing them. Okay, if a woman is not dressed properly, they will blur her body, but they're not going to blur her hair. But her body, which is considered awra Islamically, her hair is also awra Islamically. So why would you blur one part and leave the other part? Like, where's the rationality there, right? So unfortunately, I think as Muslims, we need to kind of come back to our understanding of what is considered awra for a woman, or is awra for a man. What are the things that we're not supposed to show? This idea of coming back to the hijab and the effects of feminism and how it affected women and drove them away with the hijab, and made the hijab something that a man wants a woman to wear, not like it's a command from Allah Azza wa Jal to the women. And the reason they wear it is because the Creator commanded them to wear it. It has nothing to do with what the man wants. And also this idea that she mentions that women can do everything, and women are better than the man. I think Islamically, if someone can make an argument of who's better, men or women, a man would be able to make an argument using an Islamic text that the masculine or the man is better than the woman. He can use verses of the Quran, for example, like chapter 4, verse 34. So the men are sustained and protected, or men are in charge of women, though Allah has favored them over women. So this is an explicit verse, for example. We've got other verses of the Quran like وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ, and men have a degree over women, right? Scholars go now into explanation of what this degree is and what does فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ بَعْضَهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ mean. Point is, we're not trying to make a comparison here, but when someone comes and you go on a video and you want to speak on behalf of Muslims, you have to be very careful in what you say. You don't want to give the wrong representations of what Muslims believe. So that's the first thing. This is not the biggest problem so far, right? Biggest problem is still, we're coming to the biggest problems now. So this is the first lady, yeah? The second person is this brother here. Let's see what he says.
What do you think about not normal? What do you think about the transgender movement?
I'm not against that, but I'm against the fact that they impose that to other people. Live your life, do your thing, and leave others alone. Don't go to schools to say to children, I'm a drag queen, I'm transgender, you can choose. Babies can choose.
Let them be kids.
Let them be kids.
What do you think?
Okay, now the problem here is, like, he said I'm not against that. Right, I don't have an issue with that. You can do your thing. Remember what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Why did I highlight what liberalism was? Is because I want to show the people the effects. I want to show the people that, look, Muslims have been affected so much by this idea of liberalism, and now they speak in like liberals, not knowing they're speaking like liberals. The reason the West are in the mess that it's in today is because of liberalism. It's because of the starting of this idea saying, okay, I don't mind, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, they start doing whatever they want to do, and then the next step is that they are imposing what they want to do on you. So you cannot be passive in your kind of stance when it comes to these issues, saying, oh, I don't have a problem with it. You can do it if you want to do it. You know, as a Muslim, you view the action as a sin. As a Muslim, you have an issue with the action from an Islamic perspective. This is something that Allah have forbade people from doing. This is a sin. This is something which is incorrect from an Islamic perspective. This is supposed to be our stance as Muslims. We cannot be bringing the liberalism card and then saying, oh, it's okay for other people to be doing it. We don't have any issues with it. I only have an issue if it's imposed on my children. But look at the trajectory in the West. It didn't start by being imposed. It started by let these people do what they want to do. And then gradually it becomes what it is today. And especially today that it's being imposed to the level that it is being imposed. Our stance has to be clear. Our stance cannot be a liberal stance of, yeah, people can do whatever they want to do, let them do whatever they want to do. That's a huge issue. This cannot be our stance today. I have a couple of more clips I want to show. So there are these three sisters as well. Let's see what they say.
Like working in the home and working out home.
Would you girls like to stay home?
No.
You want to work and raise the baby?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What if the man makes a lot of guapo? Then you stay home.
No.
No, you're thinking about it.
No.
Why?
Again, this idea of feminism and how it's affected our women. Now, why am I mentioning these issues? Why am I talking too much about these things? Because we need to wake up as Muslims and realize that, look, these things are affecting our countries. These answers are not the valid answers that we should be given as Muslims. This is not the correct Islamic stance. We shouldn't be praising things which are not necessarily correct from an Islamic perspective, that people are given these answers and we say, oh, I'm proud to be a Muslim. You are proud to be a Muslim in the comment section, but you should be proud of the people who are saying things which are correct Islamically. So if you see here, he asked them, do you want to stay home? Instantly, it was a no. It was not even 2 seconds thinking, maybe can I stay home as a woman? No, straight away no. Okay, what about if the man is able to provide? What about if the man is doing the provision? You don't need to work, okay? Would you then stay home? No, instantly as well. It's the same idea. This idea of women today are Muslim women thinking that, look, staying home equals oppression. Staying home means that, no, this is a problem now. I've got to be a strong and independent woman. I got to go outside without my hijab, clearly as we see in the video, and then go work. But what they mean by work is haram mixing with non-mahram men, and then fitna happening, and then zina, a'udhu billah, all of the things that happen today. And I'm not talking here about is it permissible for a woman to work Islamically. Of course it's permissible for a woman to work Islamically, and they always bring this idea of Khadija radiallahu anha. How was Khadija radiallahu anha working? Was she free mixing with non-mahram men, engaging in discussions and conversations with them? No. So we cannot take things to the extreme. And staying home, this Allah Azza wa Jal commands women to do in the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran chapter 33, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ, and stay and remain in your homes and have serenity, have peace, وَقِرْنَ, depending on the reading of the Quran. But stay in your homes. So this is something that is praiseworthy Islamically, because a woman going outside, especially without a hijab, engage with non-mahram men, always leads to fitna, either from a woman perspective or from the man who will engage with her. So this is the problem, this idea of, okay, you know what, I know I need to go outside, I need to work, and unfortunately a lot of women today go into, for example, a medical field, studying for 9 years, and then after finishing the medical field, imagine she's working in a hospital. And these girls say in the video, it's okay, we're going to work, and at the same time, we're going to take care of children. These are not realistic things. When we talk from a realistic perspective, this is not realistic for a woman, especially to be working in a medical field or something like that, studying for 9 years and working in a hospital, and at the same time being able to raise their children. So we have to take everything in a balance when it comes to studying. I'm not saying women should not study, I'm not saying women should not work, but I'm talking about the balance. I'm talking about the things that are praiseworthy from an Islamic perspective. We should be representing the Islamic perspective from the things that are praiseworthy from an Islamic perspective. Also, these girls, they said something else here when he asked them about being a trans.
So yeah, about that, right? I think the discussion about this is, it's unfortunate that we have come to a place where it's quite difficult to discuss in a calm and collective manner, and without, how to say, because there's already a sense where you know, success is what. That's where, because if it starts there, right, meaning that you're not successful if you not if you stay at home, something like that, right? So then, of course, nowadays, in my university here, in this university, we have like the intake of students, right? The vast majority, like 75% female, 25% male, something like that. It's so extreme in the introduction week when they put everyone that come into the university in the whole intake. It's like the male is like at the end there, and this is female. So that's the reality. Where is the male? I'm not sure where they went. Is it? I don't know. So that's one thing. And it have, because when we look at it from Islamic point of view, it is Islamun Nizamun Shamil, right? It is a comprehensive system that governs everything. The issue here is, because we become individualistic in nature, we see everything in the lens of, I am an individual, I need to look at what I individually, what's the best for me individually, etc., etc., etc. That idea that we put aside what's the best for the society, what's the best for family, institution, etc., right? So that's where, because from my perspective, right, all of those put together, hence when we want to discuss, it becomes very complicated. Because we have to untangle first, okay, why do we have this view that success means what? One, why do you have this view that, you know, I don't care what happened to society, I don't care what happened to the family institution, right? So if we settle all those questions first, and then we go, okay, so what's the best? How is my role? And, you know, as for example, husband and wife, what's the best, generally speaking, what's the best in terms of role playing to make sure that our needs in the economic sense is fulfilled, our need in growing up our children is fulfilled, our need in terms of contribution to society is fulfilled, our need to contribution of the ummah is fulfilled, right? So if we discuss on all of those, and then we will come to a conclusion, a certain conclusion that is more harmonious. But it's very difficult to discuss that when we do not want to include, why do I need to consider what happened to the society, to the family, etc., right? I'm me. I have spent all this time studying. It will be a failure if I've so the starting point is sometimes it's very tricky to maneuver this kind of discussion, I would say. And all of my statement here is within from the Muslim perspective in a Muslim ummah. I'm not yet go into, you know, the rest where total liberal thinking is if Muslim have reached that point, I do not know what will happen to the ummah, because no one would ever think about the good of the society anymore in that situation, right?
Gender.
So what do you guys think about like transgenders?
It's her life.
I don't have a...
Yeah. We respect them.
This is a problem. It's the same answer that I've already commented on from the Moroccan brother. He said the same thing. It's their life. Okay, it's their life. And the problem is the person in the middle who said, I respect them. Now, in essence, what do you mean you respect? You respect a sin? You respect something that Allah Azza wa Jal clearly have stipulated to be a major sin in the Quran. And if you look at the punishments that happened to people, Lut alayhi salam, etc., this is what you respect. You respect something that Allah Azza wa Jal called the fahisha. You respect things that the Prophet said, la'an, upon the people who do these actions. So if you say I respect the sin, that can even go into a statement of disbelief. So the problem is, as Muslims, we need to be more mature. We need to be more understanding when it comes to these issues. And we need to speak from knowledge, right? And we need to be able to represent Islam from a correct perspective. And the people who watch these videos as well, you need to understand this is not the right answers to give. We're not liberal. And we do not respect sins. We do not respect major sins. We do not respect things that Allah Azza wa Jalla is not pleased with. And our position and our stance have to be strong on these issues, liberalism, feminism, how it's affected our communities and societies. Our stance has to be strong, brothers and sisters. So I wanted to comment on this video. It's not to speak about Moroccans, because this issue is not about Morocco or Moroccans. This issue is, if you go to different lands, you'll find these Muslim lands, you'll find similar issues there. You'll find as well women not dressed in a hijab way, having feministic ideas, because they've been influenced by the West. And the irony is, or not to use even that term irony, but the point is someone coming from the West is because he sees how the West has fallen when it comes to these issues, and he's going to the Muslims and he's not realizing that many of these Muslims have been also influenced by that West that he is running away from and thinks is fallen, and they have been influenced by them and they think that they are superior morally, etc. So we need to be clear on our stances when it comes to these issues. But to be fair, there are people who answer correctly in these videos. There are brothers who answer correctly in these videos. Not like everyone who was in the video gave an incorrect answer. There are some people, alhamdulillah, who give correct answers, very good answers. And alhamdulillah, there's khair in this ummah. There is goodness in this ummah. But in order for there to be goodness in this ummah, we need to understand that we need to enjoy the good and forbid the evil. The reason Allah Azza wa Jal praised our nation is He said, "Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas." You are the best nation to be brought up to the people. Why? Is because you enjoy the good and you forbid the evil. And Allah Azza wa Jal said about the people.
Ya, kuntum khaira ummah ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah, right?
Nation to be brought.
Kuntum khaira ummah ukhrijat lin nas. Okay, so I forgot about that one. Kuntum khaira ummah ukhrijat lin nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. Right, so yeah, ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. Encourage the good, forbid the evil, the munkar, right? So yeah, in the sense that I'm not sure whether Muslims realize this, because if we talk about there's a certain sin that we say that it is a sin, but we do not go on a witch hunt, etc. In the case of sin that is being done not in the public eye, right? Including zina. If people say, is it okay to for zina, etc.? No, it's a big sin. But do we go on witch hunt to find something that is happened within enclosed house or whatever, right? No, wala tajassasu, for example, right? But we acknowledge that this is a sin, but we do not go on witch hunt or, after something that happened out of public view. If it happened in the public view, obviously we know what is the punishment. But in this case, I think we do not realize that for anyone who transgender, right? It's not. It's in the public eye, right? It's not just like someone have internal struggle of attraction with the same sex or same gender, right? And then no one knows, etc. So that's internal. It is different because transgender can transgender be a personal sin out of public view? Can it be? Because I don't think so, right? Because especially when you take the steps to change, then it's in the public view. And ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. That's munkar in the public view. It has to be addressed. As a Muslim, you cannot say that that's her choice, because it is in the public view. Just like anyone who do commit sin in the public view, right? Be it zina, be it stealing, be it violating others in public view. You cannot say that's their choice. You cannot say that.
Brought up to the people. Why? Is because you enjoy the good and you forbid the evil. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said about the people of Bani Israel, كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر يفعلوه. They did not forbid each other when they were doing sins. They didn't care when other people were doing sins. So this is a problem. You cannot say, let the people do what they want to do. No. There is a level of enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. Whoever sees a munkar from you, let him change it with his hand. If he can, then with his tongue. If he can, then hates it with his heart. So this is a problem. You cannot say, let the people do what they want to do. No. There is a level of enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. Whoever sees a munkar from...
This is man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi fa in lam yastati' fa bi lisanihi fa in lam yastati' fa bi qalbihi wa dhalika adhaful iman. Right, that's the hadith. Yeah. Just like the verse about the Bani Israel. That's also when the sin, when you know people are sinning, because that's already in the public view, and you say that that's their own thing, that's a problem. From a Muslim perspective, that's a problem. It is different when you don't know what's happening and they're committing sin out of view and you don't even aware of it. So that's different. But when it's already apparent, you know that's going on, and they actually make it visible, na'uzubillah, if you don't do anything, na'uzubillah min zalik. Yeah, okay, so this is very much, you know, I wonder, because my videos tend to be watched more from Christians than Muslim, I would say, judging from the comments. So I wonder, what is your point of view? For example, if you're a Christian, what do you think about this? Because I believe, from Christian point of view, transgender, whatever this is, changing gender, is also a sin, right? I believe so. Provided that is correct, how is the Christian teaching with regard to this? Is it a sin that you should say something, or you just say, let them be, it's their life? Meaning, it's just, Brother Muhammad Ali says that is, we are already influenced or affected by liberalism without realizing it. Do you see it as such as well? If a Christian says, you know, I don't care what my friends are doing, he's free to become man, female, whatever, are you on that position, or no, that's a sin, I'll advise it as good as I can, etc., but ultimately he will make it? Meaning, what's the position? I'm interested to know. Thank you for watching. See you next time.